In this video, I'm going to show you some of the power features of PolyNome and how quickly we can set up a practice routine. This practice routine is going to be something that marching snare drummers use, and it's basically going to go through the divisions of 16th notes, 1E and. It's going to be 4 reps of that, and then 4 reps of 1 and a, then 4 reps of 1E a, and then 4 reps of E and a. And then it will do 2 of each of those and then 1 of each of those. So the first thing we're going to do is create a preset that counts and plays 1E and. So I'm in the default preset. I'm going to tap the rhythm, choose change rhythm. I'm going to set the signature to 1-4, clear all, and then I'm going to enter from page 3 of common rhythms 1E and, which is down here, 1E and. Now it shows up slightly differently in there, but you can enter the rhythms using these quick entry buttons. So we'll hit done. Then I'm going to assign some counting using the overlay sounds faders. So we're going to have the 1E and faders up. And I'm going to go ahead and click on change sounds. I'm going to search for voice and assign auto voice count to all of these subdivisions.
Voice count. Voice count. Voice count. Voice count.
So you see we have a preset which plays this and it counts 1E and. I'm also going to set the reps to 1. And then I'm going to save it as 1E and. So now we're going to create one that has 1 and a. And the way I'm going to do that is to save this as 1 and a. And then I'm going to go ahead and change this rhythm. Clear. And we'll set it as 1 and a. And I'm going to change the faders so we hear 1 and a. And then this flashing exclamation mark tells us that we have unsaved changes. So I'll click and save the changes. And these are turning up in the preset library here. So now I'm going to create 1E a. So we'll click save as, name it 1E a. And again, change the rhythm and set it to be 1E a. And change the faders to be 1E a. And we'll save the changes. And finally, we'll save as E and a. And once more, click to change the rhythm. Clear all. The rhythm will be rest E and a. And the faders will be rest E and a. And then we'll save that. So now in the preset library, we have those 4 presets that we can just tap on to load.
1.
And what we want to do with these is put them into a playlist that will play them in order. So I'm going to tap this button to choose multi-select. And I said the first one that we wanted was 1E and, followed by 1 and a, followed by 1E a, followed by E and a. And then I'll click Actions and Add Presets to Playlist. I'm going to name the playlist Snare Practice. And we'll choose Add to New Playlist. And then down here where it says Playlist Controls, I'm going to click on the Auto Advance and turn Auto Advance on. Play when advancing, which means it will play the next preset when it arrives at it. And then play this looping, which means that it will loop around the playlist. And then we'll hit done. So let's hear how this sounds. And now what we want to do is set these to repeat for 4 repetitions each. So the quickest way to do that is click on the pencil icon, select the ones we want to change, and then where it says actions, we'll choose set reps and choose 4 reps. And now these will play for 4 reps each. So now we want to add these again underneath for 2 reps each. So I'll click on the bottom item in the list, and I'm going to click the plus button and choose Add Presets to Playlist. And I'm going to add them again. So it was 1 E and, 1 and A, 1 E A, and then E and A, and then one more time, 1 E and, 1 and A, 1 E A, E and A, and hit done. So you see that they've been added below. So I want to set the second lot for 2 repeats. So we'll select those 4, choose Actions, Set Reps, 2, and then the bottom ones will be 1 repeat each. So we can hear how this sounds. And then it goes back to the top. Now you notice that all these have different tempos assigned to them. So they're all set to 120 at the moment. But if I change the tempo on the first item to 100, now when we play, this plays at 100 BPM, but then the next one is at 120 and these are at 120. So we want a quick way of being able to set them all to the same tempo. In order to do that, you should click the lock icon on the tempo control, and you'll see that the tempo marking disappears, and now you can just globally set the tempo from here. Now let's say that you wanted to turn this into a practice routine and you wanted the tempo to increase when it looped. You can do that in PolyNome in the playlist controls. Tap on the playlist controls, the first row, and we'll choose tempo change, turn that on, and we'll say increase by 5 BPM. That will happen when it loops to the top of the playlist. And we can also turn on tempo boundaries and choose the tempos between which we want to practice. So we'll say let's start at 100 BPM and the maximum tempo will be, say, 200 BPM. And we choose the action when it reaches a tempo boundary. So we'll say stop when it reaches that boundary. And then I'll hit done. And the cool thing here is because this is going to play between 2 set tempos, and we'll start by setting the tempo to the start tempo, PolyNome can calculate how many times it will have to loop, and it can calculate how long this will take. So it tells us that it will be 21 loops and it will take about 3 minutes 55 seconds. So this is pretty useful if you want to know how long a practice exercise is going to take. Now there are lots of other cool things you can do, but I want to show you a quick way to modify all of the items in this playlist. Let's say, for example, that we wanted to add a quarter note click to this. We can do that by tapping metronome 2, change the rhythm, and we'll add a quarter note. And then we can change the sound of this by tapping it, choosing change sounds, and I'll assign the H sound. And to change this sound, I'll tap and hold, and I'm going to give it a cowbell sound. Let's pick that one. Hit done. So now we have the same pattern, but a quarter note cowbell. I'm going to save the changes. But you see the other ones don't have that quarter note click. So in order to add the quarter note click to all of those, we're going to use copy and paste. So I'll select the item that I added the cowbell to. There it is in metronome 2. And then I'll tap on the preset name at the top of the page and choose copy preset. And that copies everything that's in here to the PolyNome clipboard. And now what we want to do is paste the contents of metronome 2 from our clipboard into all of these items. So we click the pencil icon, we go select all, and then this turns into an actions button and we click it again, and we're going to choose paste attributes. So we have to choose the source metronome from the clipboard, so that was metronome 2, that's where our quarter note was, and the destination metronome for our 12 selected presets is also going to be metronome 2. And then we don't want to paste any of the preset or overlay signs items, but we want to paste all of the metronome items. So this is going to take everything that's in metronome 2 of the clipboard and paste it into all our selected items. Then we click on paste. And now all of these should have the quarter note click. There it is. There it is.
One and one and one e one e and one and one and one e and one and one.
So that's how you can use PolyNome to create practice routines very easily.